Welcome back. It is Monday, December the 10th. It is a quarter after 9 Central Time. I just got done taking a shower, so I'm nice and clean and feeling a little more normal. And I got some good news today. I'm going home tomorrow, barring anything happening. So I decided today that I was going to share what happened. I've kind of alluded to a little bit of it on the videos and a little bit on Facebook, not a whole lot. What started out about 6 weeks ago, I guess now, is I wasn't feeling very well. I was nauseous and just, like felt maybe like my asthma was flaring up some. So I went to my regular family practice doctor that I've gone to for years. I love them. And she said that she thought it was a respiratory infection, so she gave me a sinus cocktail shot and put me on some new asthma medicine, or not new asthma medicine, new allergy medicines, and then, sent me on my way, use my inhaler as directed. And she said, if you're not better in 2 weeks, come back. Well, a week and a half later, I still was feeling terrible. I went on a Thursday. So the 2 Mondays after that, I decided to go ahead and go back because that Thursday would be Thanksgiving. I knew they wouldn't be open for the long weekend. So I went Monday and told her, I wasn't feeling any better. The nausea was still there. I had a heaviness in my chest when I ate or drank. It just kind of sat there. It didn't hurt. It was just like, just felt like I swallowed, and it just wouldn't like go down for a little while, and then it would pass through. And so I hadn't been really eating much. I was drinking. I was drinking a lot of hot tea. And hot tea, peanut butter, and eggs. That was pretty much all I ate because it's about all I could tolerate. I could eat other things, but I could only eat a little bit at a time, and then I would be full or throw up. So she said my white cell count was high and decided to put me on amoxicillin. And so I thought, okay, that's good. So Thursday, Thanksgiving, I got up and I didn't feel very well. I got sick. My husband said, we're not going anywhere because we're supposed to go over to my friend Kim's house because we celebrate all our holidays with them. And I said, no, I'll be all right. We're going to get a shower. And so we went over there, and I knew I wasn't contagious, so that's why I went. Spent time with them, had a good time, but I just really didn't feel very well. I barely ate anything. We went outside, played with a drone, which I have video of. It's pretty funny. Maybe someday I'll share it. And we went home after a couple hours because I said I just don't feel very well. Went home, I laid down, I tried to eat some cereal. That didn't work. Went to bed, got up the next day, which was Friday. Of course, we were off work. I just felt bad all day. I laid around, had no energy. I just hurt, like my whole body ached, like really bad flu. But I didn't think too much of it. And that night, I was talking to one of my friends on Messenger. I was actually giving her a recipe, and I remember laying there thinking, if I don't get any better, I've got to go to the emergency room. And I really literally debated on going that night, calling 911 because I felt so bad. But my husband wasn't home. He had gone to go play with his imaginary friends. We both board game, but he's a big board gamer. And one of the things he does is was interviewing, I guess, for lack of a better word, to be a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, we are nerds. I name it, proclaim it. Anyways, I was laying there, and I remember it was 9:30. I went to bed, and I knocked on my son's door, and I said, I'm going to bed, and if I don't feel better in the morning, your dad's going to have to take me to the emergency room. And so I went to bed, and I got up that next morning, and I felt even worse. I mean, I hurt so bad. And I remember laying in bed that night thinking, maybe I have mono, because years ago, I had a boyfriend who had mono, and he had the symptoms that I have. And so I thought, well, maybe that's what it is. That would explain the exhaustion, the nausea, the vomiting, the just all around feeling bad. So the next morning I got up, and I remember sitting there just crying because I hurt so bad. And my husband's like, get a shower and we're going to the emergency room. So I got a shower. We got to the emergency room. I thought, well, they're going to put me on something strong and send me home. And we were sitting there for, we were there a couple hours, and they did a bunch of blood work, x-rays, etc. And the doctor came in and said, we're going to admit you, your kidneys are in failure. And I was like, what? I mean, all I know is I'm battling a respiratory infection. And next thing you tell me I'm in kidney failure, that's a pretty big leap. So they put me in a room, and then that was Saturday night, and then Sunday night they moved me to a regular room. And on Monday they did an esophagram to check why I was feeling that pressure in my chest when I ate or drank, which after they did it, it went away. I don't know what was wrong there. They didn't find anything. So that pain has gone away. But not, like I said, it wasn't pain, it's just discomfort. So we, they said, well, we're gonna have to run some tests on your kidneys. We're gonna do a biopsy on Tuesday. And so they did the biopsy, which was not bad. They don't put you to sleep or anything. I was awake for it. They just gave me a local. The worst of it was putting a mask on my face. I'm kind of claustrophobic, so that was kind of scary, and I had to lay still and then hold my breath and lay still and hold my breath. And of course, when someone tells you not to do something, you want to do it. So I did that. They came back that evening and said, we're going to transfer you to a hospital in Memphis, which I live in a suburb of Memphis in Mississippi. So it was like a 15-minute ambulance ride. And when I get here, they put me in the oncology ICU. And they're telling me that my kidneys are not working at all, that I'm going to have to go on dialysis. I'm going to have to do 6 months of chemotherapy, and I'm going to have to be on really strong steroids. And the reason for this is I have a disease that's very rare. It's a freak thing. There's nothing I could have done to prevent it, which is, in a sense, a relief to me because I know I didn't do it to myself. I could understand maybe if I had heart disease or something like that, but my heart's perfectly fine. Other than a small rhythm thing that's common, and it's nothing. They don't really do anything with it. They don't take any medicine or anything. And I was probably born with it. But that was kind of like a shock, that I have this weird disease that is very, very uncommon. It's very rare. It's very hard to diagnose, and but it's treatable. It's just, I'm very sick. I'm a lot sicker than I think I've probably let people know on Facebook, and my closest friends and family know, but I haven't really shared the depth of the illness. The reason they have to do the chemo and the steroids are to suppress my immune system. Right now, this disease attacks my liver, or not my liver, my kidneys and my lungs. Secondary were my lungs, and that's why my lungs were full of blood, and I was on oxygen until, I want to say 3 days ago, maybe Saturday, Sunday, Friday maybe. They took me off the oxygen. I was doing breathing treatments like every 4 hours. And I was coughing up blood, large amounts of blood. And, but my lungs are clear, and that's good. And the pulmonologist is real pleased with that. And he actually told me today that he had a patient who had the exact same disease that went into remission for 14 years. So that gave me a ray of hope. The kidneys are not good. The kidneys are really bad. I don't know that they're necessarily going to bounce back. There's always hope. There's always a miracle. From my understanding is once I get out of the hospital, we do dialysis 3 days a week. I'll be going Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, which is pretty much a full-time job. It's a 4-hour process to do dialysis. And you got to figure about another hour of time for prep, etc. But you know what? It keeps me alive. I will be put on a transplant list, which is scary because if I do get a transplant, I have the risk of running the rejection of the kidney. So I'm not asking anybody I know to test or anything. I'm just going to leave that in God's hands. I know for sure my children can't do it because they are a different blood type than I am. I know that, and even if they weren't, I would not allow them to give me a kidney. I wouldn't risk that because there's always a risk of this disease being hereditary. They don't think the reason I got it was hereditary. They think it was just a mutation of this virus that caused it, which I gotta go back to that. What it is my body is attacking myself. He explained that we all have antibodies, And the antibodies I have, instead of fighting infection like a healthy body would, are fighting my healthy cells. And that's why I had to have the plasmapheresis. I've got to remove all my plasma, which I have figured out. I've had 18 units of plasma in the last 2 weeks. I've had 3 units of blood. So I think, for me, this has been a wake-up call on the importance of donating blood and plasma. You can actually make money donating plasma. I hear it on commercials all the time. So, you can help your pocketbook, save a life, it's a win-win. Of course, I'm looking at, a whole lifestyle change. I started chemotherapy. I'll have 10 rounds of chemo, 10 rounds of chemo over 6 months. I will actually go Wednesday for my first chemotherapy outpatient. Tonight I'm going to have a unit of blood put in, which is it's not that bad. It's not very comfortable, but it beats the alternative, of course. And then tomorrow I'll have a dialysis treatment, and then I should be able to go home. They called me tonight to let me know that my first outpatient chemo will be Wednesday. So I'll have a chemo Wednesday, and I'll have a dialysis Thursday, and then a dialysis on Saturday. And then I'll be off again until Tuesday. So that's, that's my new life, my new normal. I've got a girlfriend whose mother-in-law does dialysis, and she said it took about 3 months, and once the 3 months, she was able to drive herself back and forth. Right now, I'm just incredibly weak. It takes a lot of effort for me to do anything. And, I realize I'm not going to go home and, clean the house top to bottom and run a marathon. Not that I would run a marathon anyhow, but, the kidney doctor, did talk to my husband this morning, because every time the doctors come in, I look at them with a blank stare and can't remember anything. So he talked to them on the phone, and, of course they can't guarantee anything. They can't tell me that I'm going to go into remission. They can't tell me that my kidneys are going to heal on their own. They can't tell me any of that it's just going to be 6 months of this, or a year of this, or 2 years, or whatever. That is not known, and that's okay. I'm just glad to be alive, honestly. I really am. I really thought I was going to die, but I don't want to die. I've got a lot to do. I'm trying to think about anything else. I'm very happy to go home tomorrow. I miss my home. I miss my family. I miss my dog. I miss my bed. I miss my space. I'm going stir crazy. The only time I ever leave this room is to go to dialysis, and that's on my bed. I don't even get to get out of the bed to do that. They just roll me on down there, which everyone's so nice here. I can't ask for better doctors, nurses, even housekeeping, everyone's so kind. So just some changes. Like I said, the medicine, I'm on a lot of medicine. I've never been on anything in my life other than allergy and asthma medicine. So now I'm on blood pressure medicine, I'm on insulin. I started an antidepressant per my request, just to kind of help me keel out my mood swings due to the medicine. I'm on high-dose steroids. I'm on different vitamins, I'm different blood medicines. I'm taking heparin right now because I'm bedridden, basically, and I don't want a blood clot, because if anyone's gonna get a blood clot, it would be me. So, I look rough. And the little guy who was wheeled me back today, he said, "Who beat you up?" Because I am covered head to toe. You can't see it, and I'm not gonna show you, but I am black and blue. But that's okay, bruises will heal. So, I think that is about it. I've babbled on for almost 15 minutes, and I just wanted to put this out there, kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on with me. Just, keep me in your prayers, keep my family in your prayers. Pray for a miracle that my kidneys will heal. And if not, it's okay. Like I said, I can live on dialysis for a long time, and I can live a quality life. It's not that I can't do anything. I did ask if I could travel. Not that I'm really going to be doing any traveling, as I'm going to not have any extra money to travel on. But it's good to know that, if I want to go up and see my daughter, or if I want to make plans to go somewhere, I can. I just have to work with my dialysis clinic to find a place where I can do dialysis there. My daughter was telling me there's a place right there where she lives that I can go. She has a former coworker, his boyfriend doesn't have the same disease, but he does have a kidney disease where he's on dialysis, and so there's definitely, that option. It's just going to take a lot more planning because it's just going to be harder. But like I said, I'm just, glad that my life isn't going to be limited to my house and dialysis. I mean, definitely going to be able to have a quality life. Now, unfortunately, for a while, I'm not going to be able to go to the store because I won't be able to walk around that long, and you're not going to see my butt in a motor scooter. And so, sadly, the days of me being Walmart Ninja are probably gone for a while. And a little sidebar to the Walmart Ninja story is that every time my husband and I go to Walmart, we'll be walking together, and the next thing you know, I'll be gone. I'll be on the opposite side of the store in like a minute. So he calls me the Walmart Ninja. So the Walmart Ninja is out for a while, but Walmart Ninja will come back. Well, I think that is it. My nurse will be in here in a little bit to start the transfusion, and I have to lay still and lay in bed, and I'll probably go to sleep. So I hope you guys have a great day, and remember, not every day is good, but there's always something good in every day, and I will see you next time. Oh, and real quick, I really am one in a million. I always knew I was unique and rare.